Welcome back again to another video you were not expecting. So I'm looking to responsible. So guys, I just finished it. Today's video will be different as usual as always, and we're not expecting it, you know, as usual as always. So guys, today we're gonna be shaking some tables. We are gonna be shaking it, and that's because I've had some people send me a DM about this. I've seen some comments, I've seen some. Anyways, let's talk about it. Yeah, if you follow my community tab, I shared something like that, and I said I was going to be talking about it. So this is visa period, and one thing that actually make this thing very rampant is because of the dependent visa that these countries now introduced. You know, after the COVID thing, I told you so many countries are actually trying to open up. So we got so many countries, because so many countries, I just think flying down. I don't want to look responsible, Jerry. So actually, because so many countries are actually trying to open up, so they now make their visa very attractive. Like, you can come with your dependents, you can come with your dependent, and then people are not trying to make, like, take advantage of that dependent. Any dependent that they see. In fact, there was one time somebody left a comment on my this thing that I was just like, you go make me your dependent, you go make me your dependent. So the guy was like, oh yeah, I just perceived that the guy is joking. Me say, because he was at town. Before we even dive right into it, share, you know the risk of, okay, I'm going to be addressing people that are married but they are traveling as a single person. People that are not married, they have a boyfriend, they have a girlfriend, so they'll be traveling as a dependent. And then people that they did not even have relationship together, they just met a guy. This one met a boy, a guy, sorry, a boy, a girl. A guy is approved in UK, but if you're living from Nigeria, it has to be a guy and a girl. You just met, and it's true. Instead of lying, just carry your bestie along as your dependent. That's because they allow they allow same-sex marriage in UK. You get, instead of, what do people think? That's another ideal. This guy has sense. So the third one is people that they don't even know each other from anywhere, they just combine. Whereas some, they actually know each other. You know, this long relationship that maybe dating for like 1 million years. I feel like, okay, we're good to be talking about that. So firstly, the question is, being married, does it actually affect your visa application? Does it actually matter? Apparently, basically, being married or single does not even affect your visa application. In fact, the best bet is better to even be single. Like, somehow you even get faster approval if you're single, and somehow you can actually get faster approval if you are married, and somehow you can get faster approval if you are married with children, and somehow you can get faster denial if you are single. Somehow you can get faster denial if you have children. Somehow you can get faster denial if you are married, because it is, you know, when you're going as a single person, you have so many documents, especially proof of fund. So if you want to go with your family and you don't want to get denied, you want them to listen, your proof of fund is important. And aside that, your personal statement, depending on the age of the children you are moving with, if they are babies, if they are this thing, so you have to be able to explain how you are going to cope in a new environment with those children. You have to be able to explain it, because they feel like it's a new environment, you cannot cope. How are you going to do childcare? So everything has to reflect in your personal statement, a cover letter, a SOP. So if it does not reflect, even if you have $1 million as your proof of fund, they are not gonna grant you the visa. Like I told you, these countries, they actually value children so much, so you have to be able to explain that this is my 2-year-old, this is my 3-year-old. So I have another video coming up that I'll be explaining how to travel abroad without the child father and everything, things you can do. So people understand. But then if you're going as a single person, you just do your own proof of fund, you say how you live your life and everything. But then another mistake people actually used to make is, when they fill their visa application form, instead of them to date the embassy, I am married, you, even if you are not married, tell them you are not married but you have children. They'll just claim they are single, and that's it. You know, most time, I don't know, maybe it's the agent or this, you know, you just click you are single, you are married, you find the embassy, and of course you will get your visa. But then when you now get to UK or any of these countries, now I used to tell people, before you travel out, you know that exact way, I want to travel. But then when you get there, when reality start down on you that you need somebody in this house that will be preparing food for you, so that when you come from work, you eat, you start realizing that reality. And you know something about this abroad, you know, in Nigeria there are so many girls, you can see side chick easily. Side chick is cheap to get. Abroad, side chick is money. In fact, your side chick self will work. It's not so easy to get side chick. So you now feel the need to actually bring your family, and that's where the problem will now enter, because you've already told the embassy you are single. You've already told the embassy you don't have a child. So now when you are trying for them to apply for dependent, how are they your independent? How did you get married? You fill the form as a single person and you travel. So in that time frame, and your visa or anything did not even show that you transited, you came back to Nigeria or your home country to get married. So how did you people get married? Through Skype? Even if you got married through Skype, how did you give her belly? How come she have children for you? So the thing is, if you forget, the embassy doesn't forget. So you have to be sure. That's why they used to tell, and that's why I tell people, don't lie. Even in CV, I go tell you, say, don't lie. You can always sprinkle it. And in the embassy, there's nothing like sprinkle. You tell them as it is, because when it's time for you to make another advanced application, you would have forgotten what you filled, and that's when they will now come for you, that according to what you are seeing. And whether you apply for the example, maybe you went to UK as a single person and then you want to go to Canada as a single person. I know of Canada, Australia, USA, New Zealand, and some countries like that. They have like this kind of agreements, like they share the same database. So for example, you've actually gone to New Zealand as a single person, and then you want to go to Canada with your family. They is just to press their name on their system. They will see all the visa this thing that you've applied to. So you went to New Zealand 2020 something, and you're married, and here you are telling me your marriage is something years old. So how did you get? There is some discrepancy there. So that's why they used to ask you, even in UK, they will ask you, if you guys have filled the form, visa application form that will fill together, you guys realize that they actually asked you that fill the form for countries you have been through, all the countries you have entered in this life. They told you to fill it because they know there's a way to check it. I don't know if UK has that again, but I know about Canada, New Zealand, all these countries that they have. They'll just type your name there. You say, so you've been to New Zealand, you've been to, everything is there. Then you just say, Canada denied you, Canada is wicked, Canada, whereas you are even the wicked one. So you have to be sure of, if you know you are single in reality. In fact, I saw one visa form, Austria. I don't know if other countries are doing it. Austria, when I was going through their visa form, because I wanted to make a video about how you guys can fill the form. When I was going through their form, they'll ask you to, if you have a fling mate, you know there's a difference if you have a girlfriend, if you have a fiancée, if you have an intending girlfriend, and if you have tabi, they will ask you to that extent, because they want you to declare everything, so that, because not like when you get there now, you now remember that that you're again here that want to come. They will ask you to that extent. So anytime you're filling anything, immigration form, when they ask you, do you have a girlfriend, do you have a fiancé in Nigeria, even if you people are fighting, you know, sometimes when you are filling form and you are fighting with the person, the thing will make you angry. Be like, I know they do, my dear. When you are feeling visa form like this, just be in your default mood. Don't be angry with anybody. Don't be dissing. If you know that at least the person has been nice to you, just relax your mind. Just fill the form. It's better to actually put the person's name, and then even if things don't work out, the embassy understand that, than for you to actually lie and then maybe things now work out between both of you. And now, how will the person now come from your own country? That's where the problem will not lie. So if you have fiancé, write it there, fiancé. If it's girlfriend, you have write it. If it's fling mate, or there's no condition or married partner, or this thing, fill the condition. Don't lie. So that, because you don't know anything that can happen, you can't know this thing. So I've answered that. And which other one? Another one is people that actually feel like, oh, when the embassy see that they are married, they perceive them as being responsible. Mind you, it is nothing like that. In fact, in Canada-based immigration, this thing, the more married you are, the lesser you actually lose points. When you are married, you lose points. You have more points as a single person. For me, I actually even feel like it's easier to get visa as a single person, because you don't have to write personal statement for the whole world. Yeah. And it has to be you, and then your proof of fund will actually be limited to yourself. It's easier to narrow your distance, so that For example, like Canada, you know, they take their personal statement very serious. You can say, okay, after your study, then you come back to your country to come and marry and everything. All those ones, you go buckle up to your personal statement. But somebody that you're already married and you're living with your family and everything like that, that one aside. Another one is people that actually used to fake this marriage certificate. So guys, let me tell you a very short story that I heard. Two. The first one. So this guy, apparently, he told a girl and a guy, yeah, both of them, they actually formed like they were married, right? They now traveled to Germany. Was it Germany? They shall traveled out together, shall. So they now applied for, as I said, this. They shall apply for something together, and of course they filled Mr. and Kiniko. So the girl was in Germany. She was living a life. Maybe the guy, maybe felt like, I don't know if it was Germany. I can't remember. Shall. The guy was now feeling like. You know, guys now, they like to migrate. You know, he was not really feeling the country. He just wanted to move for a greener pasture and everything. So the guy now moved to another country. And then, when the guy got to another country, Shebi, you are supposed to maintain our life from the beginning that you are Mr. Mrs. you are married. So the guy now got to the other country and I went to feel that he is single. Whereas this guy in Germany, in this thing, she feel that she's actually maintained a married status. So now, battle of the single and of the married. Just like I made explanation that Canada, Australia, New Zealand, they have like interconnection for them to check. Probably the country that guy moved to, there is no way they can actually check his previous transition or anything. So probably they actually accepted him as a single person. But this particular lady now, moving on, and things she wants to do in her life, she has to produce her husband. She has to produce her husband. So where is your husband? Your husband is there, claiming single. And another thing is, she cannot even move from that country to go and meet the guy there because the guy has claimed single in that country. So she has to remain in that country that they've claimed married. She cannot move forward. She cannot stay in one place. She cannot get married. She cannot divorce. How will you divorce who you can't see? Or this thing. I don't even know how this thing just happened. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when it gets to a time, this one will claim this one. This, and the thing is, maybe the guy does, it was years after it happened. Maybe the guy does not really have it in mind that, oh, I was once fakely married though. I have to claim I'm this thing. The guy didn't have it in mind. So he just claimed this thing. Then another one is, another story I heard was somebody that actually took fake certificate, got married to a fake person, and then got to, was it Canada? I think it was Canada and everything. And you know that there are so many benefits that they will give as a single person, as a this thing and everything. I don't know what happened. The guy has to start fighting for divorce. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced divorce before. You know how the thing is to shake somebody in Nigeria. Imagine divorcing somebody you can't see. Oh my days. The guy has to start filing for divorce. And you know that divorce, not be small time, not be small money. Somebody that actually went on a student visa, you have to start divorcing the hair. Is a whole lot of money, lot of time, lot of investment, lot of this. But yeah, luckily for him, he actually found a good maybe agent or this thing. It was really a long distance to just file, and then we retain that single status. So the thing is, when your agent or anybody advising you say, oh, you do marry this thing, there's nothing there, people do it, you can actually be lucky you actually get this visa. But when you get there, you don't even know the person that is your dependent. You don't know. Everybody will move like this, and then you don't know who the thing will affect. Because if somebody else, and the funny thing is, you know, when you are not married, imagine you enter Canada as a married person, fake married person, and then you want to fill form. Just because in normal life you are not married, you not feel single. You not feel single. And then they are looking at your immigration, this thing is showing married. This one is showing single. And see, I don't understand. Are you gonna see? Like, aside that, risk of actually faking documents, you can actually get banned for 10 years or even forever, depending on the country, of entering their country. Some, once you just enter the airport, like they just say, come in, ma'am. They just put it to one separate. They used to have one separate room inside the airport. Once they just say, can I see you? Just know that from there they can even detain you before they will now release you to your government, and they are going to ban you for ever. Some they can actually sanction you. Like, they have different punishments depending on the gravity of the offense, depending on the distance. So basically, I would not advise anyone to do fake marriage. If you're not married, you're not married. If you're single, you're single. Being single or being married does not determine your visa denial or visa approval, right? And then another thing is, so I don't forget what I want to talk. Okay, another thing is, some of you actually have like a long time boyfriend, maybe in Nigeria, maybe in Africa or anything, and then you guys are dating, or maybe the guy has even proposed, but you're not getting married, and then the guy is telling you that, okay, I'm moving to UK, I'm moving to Canada, just come and be my dependent so that you can be working for me while I go to school or something like that. And then you feel like, oh, since the guy has proposed to me, let's do it. My dear, don't do it. Don't do it, because obviously the guy is not gonna marry you. If he was going to, the energy, the strength you will use to do fake marriage for you to be his dependent, how many minutes does it take for you to do civil marriage just to go to an Ikoyi registry here? So you say, my lord, I kiniko, just to raise your hand and snap picture. How many minutes it's gonna take you? So why men, women don't get married is because you don't trust each other. You do not trust the love you have for each other, because you don't know if this girl will dump you, if the guy will dump you. You don't trust each other. In fact, it's mostly for guys that used to tell the girls to come. They don't trust each other because they don't know how the girl will actually behave if they get that. You know that divorce process is not always easier, but it's not always easy. You always have to argue and say, my lord, this one, and it's always expensive. So I feel like that's why people actually do the fake one. So if you feel like a guy actually proposed to you or is dating you and he actually means it, let him get married to you in the proper way. Let him go and pay your bride price. Let him go and do traditional wedding. Let him do court wedding. Let your family members know that yes, you are married legally. Do your court wedding, which is a snap picture. Prepare us on Instagram. Yes, you are legally married. Don't fall for, oh, I'll get married to you when I get to UK. He will not marry you. He will dump you for a white person. And another thing, he may not even really dump you like that. He will allow you to work. Then after using the money to raise his own school, then that's when he will not come and tell you that, hey, your head is too big. You don't have front hair. You don't have this. You don't. Oh my days. But at least if you guys are legally married and then divorce, you still know that, and you know that, you know, outside the country, divorce actually used to favor women. You know that it actually used to favor women. Yeah, it favors women. So somehow they're actually scared of commitment. So if a guy knows that he's not going to use you to play kite and everything, let him get married to you. But if he's doubting, my dear, go as your single person. You too should go as your single person. That way you are not committed to anybody. Nobody's committed to you. Everybody's independent on their own and everything. But then going as dependent can actually be cheap, right? Yeah, because one person has to work, one person has to study, and then save up for each other. It will be cheap. But then don't because of that. So if your boyfriend or any other person wants you to go with them as their dependent, just gonna do legal marriage certificate. And then another thing is, some people actually get married to some people that is outside the country. They'll send them fake marriage. I beg, don't do it. Don't do it. They will catch you. Don't do it. Don't do it. I think the thing is, you know, when you're lying about something, you'll not remember. There's some people that you lie to that, oh, you'll not remember. You don't always remember lies. Unconsciously, you don't always remember lies. Don't do it. Your visa application does not have anything to do with your marriage status. So if you want to go as a dependent, like if you're married, do proper wedding, proper marriage, and go legally. That way, if you want to divorce, you know how to split. You know that, yes. So, and again, it's also like a form of security. How will a girl even follow a guy outside the country without getting married? How? The highest you can do is to go and greet him on visit visa. How you go as his dependent? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? Once you follow somebody on dependent visa, do you know what that means? Hey, before you change to normal visa, so that means, hey, that's one thing you people do not know. It's not dependent visa. Once you follow somebody on dependent visa, do you know what is dependent? So that means the person even have right to even evoke you, exit you from UK as they like, in that layman's word. And please, you people should sharpen up, because you have to do everything they want. If they say, you have to work, no school, you have to do that, you have to do this, because you have to be dependent on them, unless filing for your own independent visa is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because you moved as that on that dependent visa, and somehow you have to be on that. It's not easy. There are so many men outside the country that they don't even enjoy the way their wife treat them and everything. But then, because of this, thinking about to change their dependent visa and everything, it's not always easy like that. It's not, because I don't know, somehow you have to even prove to the home office why do you want to change. It's not always easy. So before you go on a dependent visa, you have to be sure of the person, of the DC. Don't just move because you want to JAPA. I've always told you. So most if you want to move with, okay, you're moving with your husband, and don't get married to any person just because you want to travel together. Be sure of the relationship. Be sure that the love actually exists. Because if you just get married because, okay, you did legal marriage and then you move, oh my dear, you're gonna feel frustrated, because living outside the country is not as easy as it is in Nigeria, that you can get help easily. So it takes a really understanding couples to actually be able to cope with each other. It really takes, because sometimes somebody, you have to sacrifice for each other. Either somebody work in the month, so you have to sacrifice for each other. So it's not gonna work. It's not. So you have to be sure that this person you're moving with, the person have sense. Right? It's the person that you want to spend your life with. If you know you cannot spend the rest of your life with somebody, don't get married to them, let alone going on their dependent visa. So that is what I said I should come and tell you guys. Stop risking the visa thing. If you are married, if you are not married, if you're divorced, if you're a widow, if you're this, the embassy does not care. Just be sincere in your visa application. It does not have effect. And in fact, the more you even have liability, the higher your chances of getting denied, because you feel like, how will you cope? How will you this thing? How will you that one and everything? Anyways, that's what I came to tell you guys. So guys, stop lying in your visa application process. The embassy does not have anything to do with that. So if you're a Mr., say you're a Mr. If you're a Mrs., say you're a Mrs. If you have one child, even if you're not responsible for the child, that you don't even need to pay the adoption fee of the child, declare it that you are once married. I mean, you actually have a child. Declare it. So guys, I hope you guys the end of today's video, and I'll see you in my next video. This thing keeps running out. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you soon. What I used to do, thumbnail, I don't even know. So guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you in my next video.